The great hall of the imperial palace was filled with worried voices. Emperor Valthoris III sat on his crystal throne, his blue skin darker than usual. This meant he was upset, very upset. Another trainer failed, said Zixthera, the head trainer. She was a tall alien with 4 arms and silver eyes. That makes 17 now, Your Majesty. The Emperor looked at the medical report on his datapad. Trainer number 17 was in the hospital with 3 broken bones and severe burns. He was lucky to be alive. What about the Drake? The Emperor asked. Ashenclaw is getting worse, Zixthera said quietly. He refuses all food. He attacks anyone who comes near. The containment field barely holds him anymore. Emperor Valthoris closed his eyes. Ashenclaw was a void drake, one of the rarest creatures in the galaxy. The Emperor had spent years searching for one. When he finally found Ashenclaw, it seemed like a dream come true. But then came the accident. A stellar flare had hit the transport ship. All of Ashenclaw's brothers and sisters died in the fire. Only Ashenclaw survived, but something inside him broke that day. Now 3 months later, the beautiful creature had become a monster. We have tried everything, Zixthera continued. Psychic compulsion, dominance training, chemical sedation. Nothing works. Your Majesty, I must suggest— No, the Emperor said firmly. We will not kill him. But sire, he is suffering. And he is dangerous. Find another way, the Emperor ordered. Find someone, anyone. Zixthera left the throne room with a heavy heart. She walked through the corridors of the Imperial Zoological Reserves thinking hard. She had called trainers from 40 different planets. The best experts in the galaxy had tried and failed. What else could she do? She passed by the Drake's containment area and stopped. Through the observation window, she could see Ashenclaw. The Drake was magnificent even in his misery. His scales were black as space and his eyes glowed like dying stars. He was pacing back and forth like a caged storm. Then Zixthera noticed something strange. A human was standing near the outer fence watching the Drake. Humans were rare in this part of the galaxy. This one wore a simple maintenance uniform. He was just standing there, not moving, not speaking, just watching. Zixthera checked her staff list. Marcus Webb, it said. Human male. Maintenance technician level 3. He had worked here for 2 years. She had barely noticed him before. Humans were considered a primitive species by most of the galaxy. They were good with machines, but not much else. She watched as Marcus tilted his head slightly. His eyes followed the Drake's movements. There was something different in the way he looked at Ashenclaw. Not with fear, not with the calculating gaze of a trainer trying to dominate. It was something else. Something softer. Zixthera made a decision. It was probably a stupid decision, but she was out of options. She walked up to Marcus. You, she said. Human, what is your name? Marcus turned around, surprised. Marcus Webb, ma'am. You watch the Drake often? Marcus looked uncomfortable. I do, yes. During my breaks. I hope that's allowed. Why do you watch him? Marcus was quiet for a moment. He looked back at Ashenclaw. He reminds me of my daughter, he said finally. After her mother died. That same look. That same pain. Zixthera's silver eyes widened. This was not the answer she expected. Can you train animals, Marcus Webb? No, ma'am. I fix air filtration systems. But you understand pain? Marcus looked at her directly. Yes, I understand pain. Zixthera made her choice. I have an offer for you. It is dangerous. Possibly fatal. But the pay is very good. 10,000 credits for 1 hour with the Drake. Marcus's eyes went wide. 10,000 credits. That was more than he made in 6 months. That could pay for Lily's treatments, the medicine she needed, the surgery the doctors recommended. What would I have to do? He asked. Enter the containment area. Try to reach him. Try anything you want. If you survive 1 hour, the money is yours. And if I don't survive, the money goes to your family. Marcus thought about his daughter. Little Lily, only 8 years old. She needed him. But she also needed those treatments. The nightmares were getting worse. The fear attacks were happening more often. Without help, the doctor said she might never recover from losing her mother. I'll do it, Marcus said. Zixthera felt a mix of hope and guilt. This human would probably die. But she had no other choice. The Emperor had ordered her to find someone. Anyone. Report tomorrow at dawn, she said. Prepare yourself. Write letters to your loved ones. Many trainers do this before they enter. Marcus nodded. That night, he sat at his small table in his small apartment. Lily was sleeping in her room, holding her stuffed bear. Marcus wrote a letter to his brother. He explained everything. Where the money would come from. How to use it for Lily's care. Then he sat back and looked at his daughter's picture on the wall. It showed Lily smiling before the bad days started. "I'm sorry, baby girl," he whispered. "But this is the only way." He did not sleep that night. He just sat and thought about what he would do. He thought about Ashenclaw's eyes, about that look of pain and fear and rage all mixed together. He had seen that look before. In the mirror, after the war. In Lily's eyes after her mother's funeral. Dawn came too quickly. Marcus kissed his sleeping daughter's forehead and left for the Imperial Reserves. It was time to meet the dragon. Marcus stood outside the containment area. Through the thick glass, he could see Ashenclaw. The drake was even bigger than he expected. 20 meters from nose to tail. Scales that looked like black glass. Teeth like swords. Zixithera stood beside him with 12 other trainers. They all watched through the monitors. Some were making bets on how long the human would last. 15 minutes, one said. 10, said another. Humans are fragile. Zixithera handed Marcus a shock prod. Standard equipment, she said. It might buy you a few seconds. Marcus looked at the weapon. Then he handed it back. I won't need it, the trainers laughed. The human was either very brave or very stupid. Probably stupid. Your choice, Zixithera said. The door will seal behind you. We cannot open it for 1 hour. That is the rule. If you change your mind if you want out, you must survive until the time is up. Do you understand? I understand, Marcus said. The door opened with a hiss. Marcus stepped inside. The door sealed behind him with a heavy clang. Ashenclaw's head snapped toward the sound. The drake had been lying in the corner, but now he rose to his feet. His eyes locked onto Marcus. Those eyes glowed with rage and pain. Marcus walked to the center of the room. He could hear his heart beating. He could hear the trainers breathing on the other side of the glass. He could hear Ashenclaw's low growl like thunder in the distance. Then Ashenclaw charged. The drake moved like lightning. All that massive weight, all that power coming straight at Marcus. The trainers gasped. Someone screamed. Zixithera reached for the emergency override but stopped herself. She had promised. 1 hour. Marcus did something that no one expected. He did not run. He did not raise a weapon. He did not scream. He sat down. Right there in the middle of the floor, Marcus Webb sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes. Ashenclaw's claws tore into the floor as he tried to stop. The drake's massive head stopped just inches from Marcus. Hot breath washed over the human. Breath that smelled like sulfur and smoke. Marcus did not move, Ashenclaw growled. He moved his head closer. His teeth were right next to Marcus's neck. One bite and the human would be dead, but Marcus just sat there. Calm. Still. The drake was confused. Every other trainer had fought. They had hit him with shock prods. They had shouted commands. They had tried to dominate him with psychic powers. They had been aggressive. This one did nothing. Ashenclaw backed up a step. He circled around Marcus looking for a threat. But the human just sat there, eyes closed, breathing slowly. What is he doing? One of the trainers whispered. I don't know, Zixithera said. She was staring at the monitors, fascinated. Minutes passed. Ashenclaw kept circling. Sometimes he would lunge forward, testing, trying to provoke a reaction. But Marcus never moved. Never opened his eyes. Never showed fear. After 20 minutes, something changed. Marcus began to speak. I know you're in pain, he said quietly. His voice was soft, almost gentle. I can see it in the way you move. In your eyes. I know what pain looks like. Ashenclaw stopped circling. He tilted his huge head, listening. My daughter has nightmares, Marcus continued. Every night she wakes up screaming. She sees her mother dying again and again. The doctors gave her medicine. Therapists tried to help, but nothing worked. Do you know what I learned? The drake moved closer, almost cautiously now. I learned that sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you can't fix the pain. You can't command it away. You can't fight it. You just have to sit with it, be there. Let them know they're not alone. Marcus opened his eyes. He looked directly at Ashenclaw. You lost your family. I saw the report. You watched them burn. You're the only one who survived, and now you're trapped here. And everyone wants you to be something you can't be right now. They want you to be tame, obedient, But you're just trying to survive the pain, aren't you? Ashenclaw made a sound. Not a growl. Something different. Something that sounded almost like a whimper. I get it, Marcus said. After the war, I had nightmares too. I would wake up ready to fight. My wife would have to talk me down. Tell me I was safe. Tell me it was okay. Then she died. And I had no one to do that for me. I had to learn to sit with my own pain. Just sit with it. Not fight it. Just accept that it's there. The Drake lowered his massive head. His glowing eyes were level with Marcus's now. You're not broken, Marcus said. You're hurt. There's a difference. 30 minutes had passed. Then 40. Then 50. The trainers watched in silence. No one was making bets anymore. They were all staring at the monitors, unable to believe what they were seeing. Ashenclaw lay down. His huge body stretched across the floor, but his head remained close to Marcus. The human slowly reached out his hand. Not to touch, just to offer. Ashenclaw looked at the hand. Then, very slowly, the Drake moved his snout forward until it was almost touching Marcus's palm. Good, Marcus whispered. That's good. You don't have to trust me yet. Just knowing I'm here is enough. The timer reached 1 hour. The door opened with a hiss. Marcus stood up slowly. I'll come back tomorrow, he told Ashenclaw. If you want. We don't have to do anything. I'll just sit with you, like I sit with my daughter when she can't sleep. He walked to the door. Ashenclaw watched him go but did not attack. Did not charge. Just watched. Marcus stepped out of the containment area. The trainers stared at him like he was a ghost. Impossible, one of them whispered. Zixthera approached Marcus. Her forehands were shaking slightly. How did you do that? Marcus looked tired. I didn't do anything. I just listened. He's not an animal that needs training. He's a person who needs understanding. A person? One trainer scoffed. It's a beast. Marcus looked at the trainer with hard eyes. So was I once. After the war. After I saw my friends die. I was a beast too. Someone saw past that. Saw the person underneath. That's all I did. I saw him. He turned to Zixthera. I'll come back tomorrow. Same time. And the day after that. However long it takes. Zixthera nodded slowly. The Emperor will want to meet you. That's fine, Marcus said. But right now I need to go home. My daughter will be waking up soon. She has bad dreams in the morning too. Marcus Webb walked out of the Imperial Reserves. Behind him, in the containment area, Ashenclaw lay quietly. For the first time in 3 months, the Drake's eyes dimmed slightly. Not with death, with something close to peace. Marcus came back the next day. And the day after that, and the day after that, every morning at dawn, he would enter the containment area with nothing but a simple lunchbox. At first, Ashenclaw would watch him from the corner. The Drake's eyes glowed with suspicion, but Marcus never tried to touch him, never tried to give commands. He would just sit down, eat his sandwich, and talk. He talked about ordinary things, about his daughter Lily and her school projects, about the broken air filter on level 3 that kept making strange noises, about the stars he could see from his apartment window. After a week, Ashenclaw started moving closer. Not much, just a meter or two each day, but it was progress. Zixthera watched all of this from the monitors. She did not understand it. In her culture, strength meant dominance. You controlled animals through power. But this human was doing the opposite. He was offering weakness, vulnerability, and somehow it was working. Other trainers from across the galaxy came to watch. They took notes. They argued. Some said Marcus was using secret human mind control. Others said it was luck. But they all agreed on one thing. They had never seen anything like this. On the 10th day, Marcus noticed something. When Ashenclaw moved, the Drake always favored his right side. His left shoulder seemed stiff. And sometimes, when the Drake lay down, he would make a small sound, almost too quiet to hear, a sound of pain. After his hour was up, Marcus found Zixthera. Has anyone checked Ashenclaw for injuries? He asked. Of course, she said. We scanned him completely when he arrived. No broken bones. No internal damage. What about old injuries? Scar tissue? Nerve damage? Zixthera paused. The scans showed some scarring from the stellar flare. But scars are normal. They heal. Not always, Marcus said. Not if they're deep enough. Can I see the medical files? That afternoon, Marcus sat in the medical center with 3 alien doctors. They pulled up Ashenclaw's scans on the large screen. Marcus was not a doctor, but he knew pain. He had carried enough of it himself. There, he said, pointing to a dark area on the scan. That's scar tissue. Deep scar tissue. It's pressing against the nerve cluster in his shoulder. The lead doctor, a being with 6 eyes, leaned forward. That would cause chronic pain, she said slowly. Constant burning pain. But void drakes are tough. They can handle pain. Just because you can handle pain doesn't mean you should have to live with it, Marcus said. If you're in pain all the time, everything makes you angry. Everything is a threat. You can't think straight. You can't trust. You're just surviving, not living. He thought about his own shoulder. The one that still hurt from the war. The one that kept him awake some nights. The one that made him snap at people on bad days. Can you fix it? He asked. The 6-eyed doctor looked uncertain. Void drake biology is complicated. Their nerve systems are different from most species. We don't have the right specialists here. What about human specialists? Marcus asked. Humans? But your species is so new to galactic medicine. We're new to space travel, Marcus said, but we're very old at dealing with pain. We've spent thousands of years learning how to treat it. Humans hurt each other a lot. We've had to get good at putting ourselves back together. 3 days later, a human medical team arrived from Earth. They were specialists in nerve damage and chronic pain. The lead doctor was a woman named Dr. Sarah Chen. She looked at the scans and nodded. We can help, she said, but it won't be quick. This kind of damage takes time to heal, and the Drake will need to trust us. He'll need to stay still during treatments. He'll stay still, Marcus said. For me, he will. The treatments began. Each day, Marcus would sit with Ashenclaw while Dr. Chen worked. She used techniques developed for human soldiers with nerve damage. Careful injections, gentle manipulation, regrowth therapy. Ashenclaw would growl and tense up, but Marcus would talk to him, tell him stories, remind him that the pain was temporary. That help was coming. Just like at the dentist, Marcus said one day. Remember when I told you about Lily's cavity? She was so scared, but I held her hand. I told her I was right there. That's all you need sometimes, someone to be right there. After 2 weeks of treatment, something amazing happened. Ashenclaw stood up and stretched his left side. Really stretched it for the first time since arriving. The Drake's eyes widened. Then he made a sound that Marcus had never heard before, a sound of relief. The pain is less? Marcus asked. Ashenclaw moved his wing. The one he had kept tucked tight for months. It spread out black and beautiful, catching the light. Dr. Chen smiled. The nerve pathways are regenerating. He's going to be okay. That evening, Marcus asked Zixthera a question. Can I bring my daughter tomorrow? Just for a few minutes. I think it would help. Zixthera's silver eyes went wide. Bring a child? To see the Drake? That's incredibly dangerous. Please, Marcus said. Trust me, like I trusted him. The next morning, Marcus entered the containment area with Lily. She was small for 8 years old, with dark hair and her mother's eyes. She held Marcus's hand tightly. Ashenclaw's head rose when he saw them. His eyes locked onto the child. Every trainer in the observation room stopped breathing. It's okay, Marcus told Lily. Remember what I told you? He's just like you. He has bad dreams too. He lost someone he loved. He's been in pain for a long time, Lily nodded. She was scared, but she was also brave. Just like her father. Marcus and Lily sat down together. Lily likes to sing, Marcus told Ashenclaw. When she has nightmares, sometimes singing helps. Would you like to hear? Lily's small voice filled the containment area. She sang a lullaby, the one her mother used to sing, the one that still made Marcus's heart hurt. Ashenclaw moved closer. Closer than he had ever come to Marcus. The Drake's massive head lowered until it was just a meter from Lily. Then slowly, Ashenclaw closed his eyes. The trainers watching could not believe it. The most dangerous creature in the Imperial Reserves, the Drake that had sent 17 trainers to the hospital, was lying peacefully while a human child sang to him. Lily reached out her small hand. Marcus almost stopped her, but didn't. She touched Ashenclaw's snout. Just for a moment. Just gentle, you're a good dragon, she whispered. It's okay to be sad. My daddy says it's okay. The sad gets smaller, not gone, but smaller. A single sound came from Ashenclaw, not a growl, not a roar. Something else. Something that sounded almost like a purr. When they left the containment area, Zixthera was waiting. Her 4 hands were clasped together. I must report this to the Emperor, she said. He will want to see this for himself. That's fine, Marcus said. But first, can you do something for me? Can you get a music player for the containment area? I think Ashenclaw would like to hear Lily singing even when we're not here. That night, for the first time in months, Ashenclaw fell into a deep sleep. In his containment area, a small music player played a recording of a child's lullaby. And for the first time since the stellar flare, the Drake did not dream of fire. News of the human and the Drake spread across the galaxy. People came from distant star systems to see it. The Emperor's broken dragon was healing. A maintenance worker had done what the best trainers could not, but not everyone was happy about this. Lord Zeratok sat in his private chambers, watching the news feeds with growing anger. He was a powerful noble, second only to the Emperor. He had wanted Ashenclaw destroyed. A dead dragon would have embarrassed Emperor Valthoris. It would have made the Emperor look weak. Zeratok could have used that weakness to gain more power. But now this human had ruined everything. The Emperor looked like a hero for being patient, for giving the Drake another chance. Zeratok's political plans were falling apart. We need to fix this, Zeratok told his assistant, a thin alien named Krill. What do you suggest, my lord? The Drake must fail, publicly, during the exhibition next week. The Emperor had planned a public exhibition. He wanted to show the galaxy that Ashenclaw was healed, that the Drake could be trusted. Thousands would attend. News feeds from 100 worlds would broadcast it. How? Krill asked. Zeratok smiled. It was not a kind smile. Aggression pheromones. Drake biology is simple. The right chemical mixture will override everything. Training, trust, healing. All of it. The Drake will go berserk. He will kill the human in front of everyone, and the Emperor will have no choice but to destroy him. But the human has done nothing wrong, my lord. Humans are weak, primitive. They don't belong in our empire. This one got lucky, that's all. Time to show everyone that luck runs out. Over the next week, Krill worked carefully. He bribed a maintenance worker to place chemical dispensers near the exhibition area. They would release the pheromones slowly, invisibly. By the time anyone noticed, it would be too late. The day of the exhibition arrived. Thousands of beings filled the Imperial arena. News cameras floated everywhere. Emperor Valthoris sat in the royal box with his advisors. He wore his finest robes. Marcus stood in the arena with Ashenclaw. The Drake had grown stronger over the past month. His scales shined. His eyes were bright and clear. He looked healthy, happy even. Lily sat in a special seat near the front, waving at her father. Zixathara stood nearby, ready to help if needed. People of the Empire, the Emperor's voice boomed across the arena. Today you will witness something remarkable. The bond between human and Drake, the power of patience and understanding. Watch now as Marcus Webb and Ashenclaw show us what trust looks like. Marcus began the demonstration. Simple things. He would walk and Ashenclaw would follow. He would point to the sky and Ashenclaw would spread his wings. They had practiced this many times. The crowd cheered. Everything was going perfectly. Then the pheromones started to work. Marcus noticed it first. Ashenclaw's eyes began to change. The bright, clear look faded. Something wild came back. Something Marcus hadn't seen in weeks. Ashenclaw? Marcus said quietly. Are you okay? The Drake's head snapped toward Marcus. His lips pulled back, showing those sword-like teeth. Something's wrong, Marcus said into his communicator. We need to stop. But Zixathara was already running toward the Emperor. Sire, I'm reading chemical signatures in the air. Someone is using aggression pheromones. The Emperor stood up. Stop the exhibition. Now, but it was too late. Ashenclaw roared. It was a sound of rage and confusion. The Drake's instincts were being chemically hijacked. Everything Marcus had taught him was being overridden. Ashenclaw broke his containment field with one massive swipe of his tail. The crowd screamed. People started running for the exits. Guards rushed forward with weapons raised. Don't shoot him, Marcus yelled.
He's not in control.
But the guards weren't listening. They had orders. If the Drake went berserk, kill it. Protect the people. Ashenclaw charged toward the crowd, his eyes wild with chemical rage. The guards took aim. Marcus ran. Not away from the Drake. Toward him, Marcus, no. Lily screamed from her seat. Marcus threw himself between Ashenclaw and the guards. He spread his arms wide, making himself as big as possible. Which wasn't very big. He was just one human. Ashenclaw was a dragon. Stand down. Marcus shouted at the guards. Don't shoot him. Move, human. The guard captain yelled back. We have to protect the people. You'll have to shoot through me first. Ashenclaw was right behind Marcus now. The drake's hot breath washed over him. Those massive jaws opened, one bite. That's all it would take. Marcus turned slowly. He looked up at Ashenclaw. At those wild, confused eyes, I know you're in there, Marcus said softly. Even with all the screaming and chaos around them, he kept his voice soft. The same voice he used when Lily woke up from nightmares. I know this isn't you. Someone did this to you. Someone is making you feel this way. Ashenclaw's claws dug into the arena floor. The drake was shaking, fighting against the chemicals in his brain. Remember Lily's song? Marcus said. He started humming it. The lullaby. His voice cracked with fear, but he kept humming. Remember how the pain got smaller? We made it smaller together. You and me. We can fight this too, together. The guards were shouting. The crowd was screaming. The Emperor was yelling orders. But Marcus just stood there humming, looking into Ashenclaw's eyes. You're not alone, Marcus whispered. You're never alone. I'm right here. I'm not leaving. Even if you bite me. Even if you kill me. I'm not leaving you. Just like I don't leave Lily when she's scared. I stay, always. Something changed in Ashenclaw's eyes. The wildness flickered. The rage cracked. Underneath it, Marcus could see him. The real him. The drake who listened to lullabies. Who let a little girl touch his nose. Who was learning to trust again. Ashenclaw's jaws closed. The drake's body stopped shaking. Then, with a sound like a mountain falling, Ashenclaw collapsed at Marcus's feet. The drake was fighting the chemicals with everything he had. Fighting to stay in control. Fighting not to hurt Marcus. Marcus knelt down and placed his hand on Ashenclaw's head. Good, he whispered. That's so good. You're so strong. Stronger than the chemicals. Stronger than the pain. You're going to be okay. The medical team rushed in with neutralizing agents. They sprayed the air, breaking down the pheromones. Slowly, Ashenclaw's breathing steadied. The wildness left his eyes completely. The arena was silent. Thousands of beings stared at the human and the drake. The human who had risked his life. The drake who had fought his own instincts to protect someone he cared about. Emperor Valthoris walked down from his box. He approached Marcus slowly. What you did was incredibly brave, the Emperor said, and incredibly foolish. He's not just an animal to me, Marcus said. He's a friend. You don't abandon friends when things get hard. The Emperor looked at Ashenclaw. The drake's eyes were clear again. He moved his head to lean against Marcus like a dog seeking comfort. Find out who did this, the Emperor ordered his guards. Find them now, it didn't take long. The investigation found the chemical dispensers. They found the bribed maintenance worker. They found the records leading back to Lord Zeratok. That night, as Zeratok was being arrested, Marcus sat with Ashenclaw in the quiet containment area. Lily had fallen asleep against her father's shoulder. You did good today, Marcus told the drake. You fought so hard. I'm proud of you. Ashenclaw made his purring sound, the one he only made when he felt safe. Yeah, Marcus said, smiling tiredly. I'm proud of you too. The day after the incident, Emperor Valthoris summoned Marcus to the throne room. This time it was a private meeting. Just the Emperor, Marcus, and Zixthera. I have a question, the Emperor said. He looked tired. The weight of the Empire showed in his eyes. Why did humans succeed where the entire galaxy failed? We have species with psychic powers, species that have trained animals for 10,000 years, species with technology beyond anything Earth has. Yet a simple maintenance worker accomplished what none of them could. Why? Marcus was quiet for a moment. He thought about how to explain it. How to put into words something that felt so natural to him. We don't train through power, Marcus said finally. We train through pain. I don't understand, the Emperor said. Humans have hurt each other for our entire history, Marcus continued. We've had wars. Terrible wars. Wars that killed millions. After each war, we had to figure out how to heal the survivors. Not just their bodies. Their minds. Their hearts. He thought about his own therapist. The woman who had helped him after the Proxima conflict. Who had taught him that being broken didn't mean being worthless. We learned about something we call trauma, Marcus said. It's when pain changes the way your brain works. When fear becomes part of who you are. For a long time, we didn't know how to treat it. We told soldiers to be strong, to push through. We told children to forget. But that didn't work. The pain just got worse, hidden but worse. Zixathera leaned forward, listening carefully. So we learned a different way, Marcus continued. We learned that you can't command pain away. You can't dominate it. You have to sit with it. Acknowledge it. Let the person know that it's okay to hurt. That healing takes time, that they're not alone. This is what you did with Ashenclaw, the Emperor said softly. Yes, I recognize the signs. The anger, that's really fear. The aggression, that's really pain. The refusal to trust because trust means being vulnerable. And vulnerable means getting hurt again. I see it in soldiers. I saw it in myself. I see it in my daughter. Marcus looked at the Emperor directly. Your Majesty, every human parent who has held a crying child at 3 in the morning knows this. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is just be there. Not fix it. Not command it. Just be there. The Emperor was silent for a long time. Then he said, In my culture, strength means never showing weakness. A leader who admits pain is considered unfit to rule. Maybe that's why Ashenclaw couldn't heal before, Marcus said gently. Everyone was trying to make him strong by ignoring his pain. But pain doesn't go away when you ignore it. It just grows in the dark. The Emperor looked at Ashenclaw through the observation window. The drake was playing with a large ball Marcus had requested. Actually playing like a young creature should. Happy. My son died 3 years ago, the Emperor said suddenly. In battle. He was brave, strong, he died with honor. That is what everyone tells me. But sometimes, late at night, I still see his face. I still hear his last message to me. And it hurts. Marcus saw tears in the Emperor's eyes. He didn't know if emperors were supposed to cry. But this one was. I'm sorry, Marcus said. That kind of pain never fully goes away. But it does get smaller, easier to carry, especially if you don't carry it alone. The Emperor wiped his eyes. When he spoke again, his voice was stronger. Marcus Webb, I am making you the director of rehabilitation for the Imperial Menagerie. Not just for Ashenclaw, for all creatures in our care. I want you to teach us your human methods. Show us how to heal, not just control. Marcus blinked. Your Majesty, I'm not qualified. I'm just a maintenance worker. You're qualified by experience, the Emperor said. By understanding. By compassion. Those are qualifications no school can teach. Over the next months, something changed in the Imperial Menagerie. Marcus brought in human therapists, human doctors, human trainers. They taught the alien staff new methods. Methods based on understanding behavior, not just controlling it. The aggressive firebird that attacked everyone. Turned out it was defending eggs that had been taken from it. Marcus reunited it with its eggs. The bird became gentle, the ice beast that destroyed its habitat. It was too hot. It was miserable. Marcus fixed the temperature controls. The beast calmed down. The shadow creature that screamed all day. It was lonely. Its species needed social contact. Marcus got it, companions. The screaming stopped. One by one, the broken animals healed. And as they healed, something else happened. The alien trainers changed too. They learned to watch for pain instead of just bad behavior. To ask why instead of just how to control. It's like you've given us new eyes, Zixathera told Marcus one day. We were trained to see problems to fix. You taught us to see people who hurt. Everyone hurts sometimes, Marcus said. Even dragons. The best part came 2 months later. The Emperor called Marcus to his office. The medical treatments for your daughter, he said. They are expensive, yes? Yes, Your Majesty. But with my new salary, I can afford them now. You misunderstand, the Emperor smiled. I am making them free. All of them. And not just for your daughter. I am establishing the Webb Medical Fund. Free mental health treatment for anyone in the Empire who needs it. Humans showed us that healing the mind is as important as healing the body. We should not charge people to learn how to carry their pain. Marcus felt tears in his own eyes now. Thank you, he whispered. That means everything. That evening, Marcus took Lily to see Ashenclaw. The drake's containment had changed. It was bigger now, more comfortable. There were things to play with. A pool to swim in. Windows that showed real sky. Ashenclaw lowered his great head so Lily could pat his nose. She giggled. He's getting so big. He's growing, Marcus agreed. Healing and growing, like me? Lily asked. She had started her treatments. The nightmares were less frequent now. She smiled more. Laughed more. Yeah, baby girl. Like you. They watched the sunset together, the three of them. A human father, his daughter, and a dragon who had learned to trust again. Daddy? Lily asked. Are you a hero? Everyone at school says you are. Marcus thought about it. About all the trainers who had called him weak. About the nobles who had said humans didn't belong in the Empire. About Zeratok, who had tried to prove that compassion was just another word for foolishness. No, sweetie, Marcus said finally. I'm not a hero. I'm just a dad who knows what it's like to be scared and needed someone to stay. Lily hugged his leg. I'm glad you stayed. For me and for Ashenclaw. Always, Marcus promised. I'll always stay. Above them, Ashenclaw spread his wings. They caught the last light of the setting sun, turning black scales into flowing darkness touched with fire. The drake made his purring sound, the sound of contentment, of safety, of home. Across the galaxy, people were learning a new phrase, a human phrase. They called it the Marcus method. But it wasn't really a method. It was simpler than that. It was just the understanding that sometimes the strongest thing in the universe isn't the ability to fight or conquer or control. Sometimes, the strongest thing is just the willingness to sit with someone in their pain and say, "You're not alone. I'm here. I'm not leaving." And maybe, just maybe, that was the most powerful thing humanity had to offer the stars. Not weapons, not technology, just the hard-won wisdom that came from thousands of years of hurting each other and learning, slowly, painfully, how to heal. The Emperor had asked why humans succeeded where others failed. Marcus knew the answer now. Humans succeeded because they had failed so many times before. They had learned from their failures. They had turned their own wounds into wisdom. They called humans soft, weak, emotional. They were right. And that was exactly why humans were strong. Because they knew that you didn't heal by pretending not to hurt. You healed by acknowledging the hurt and moving forward anyway. Together. That was the human way. And now, thanks to one maintenance worker and one broken dragon, it was becoming the galaxy's way too. Ashenclaw roared, but it wasn't a roar of rage or pain. It was a roar of joy, of freedom, of a creature who had found his way back from darkness. Marcus smiled and took his daughter's hand. "Come on," he said. "Let's go home," and they did.